Welcome to TMZ Live and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We are going to start with Wendy Williams. I am going to try to contain myself because I'm so angry.
I think you're going to fail.
Well, Wendy
Williams
has had a neurologist, a top neurologist in New York City, examine her. And we are told that neurologist was clear. She does not, repeat, does not have frontotemporal dementia. That is what keeps her in that prison you're looking at right there. That is, you know,
the memory unit of this assisted living facility where they claim she needs to be there because she is suffering from dementia. That's what the Guardians have said. And the Guardians claim that they got a test done that said that.
Well, they've had her in this guardianship, a restrictive, brutal guardianship for 3+ years. And now a neurologist, a private neurologist, a top neurologist has said she does not have that disease. I can tell you that, you know, you can, it's sort of the who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? I have spoke to Wendy for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours this year. She's fine. She is fine. There's not a day where she's just lost it. She is the Wendy Williams that you and I have known for 20+ years. Same person.
So now, armed with this test, what does this mean now for, we know that earlier this year she hired Joe Tacopina and that the goal was to get this guardianship dissolved. How does he take this information now? Does this go directly to the judge?
It goes to the judge. There's a 2-step process. You have to first go to the judge and ask the judge to release her from the guardianship. Based on, and I'm just giving you my opinion here, based on everything the judge and the guardian have done in this case, I don't think they're going to release her. I don't think under any circumstance I could think of that they're going to say, okay, because it's almost acknowledging a mistake. So then what happens, assuming they're going to not release her, Joe Tacopina has a right to demand a jury trial. And if they have a jury trial, all it's going to take is Wendy to get on the stand and to talk to people for a couple hours about who she is, how she feels, maybe even do some current events on the stand just to show the jury that she's fine and she's going to get out.
My understanding of when you are allowed to lock somebody up is when they are a danger to themselves or to others.
Or cannot take care of themselves.
Or cannot take, well, it's a danger to yourself. Yes, cannot take care of yourself. And whether or not she's got this condition, now we don't think she has, but whether or not she has it, the assessment is whether or not she can actually take care of herself, whether she can function and live. Is there any real belief that she would be an immediate, and this is not just long-term danger to yourself, immediate danger to yourself? The burden is on the state to prove that she can't.
I have an answer to this. That I know there have been these court hearings. This judge has been like, just like Darth Vader when it comes to, you know, warning and threatening people not to say anything about what goes on in court. And not just to Wendy, but to other people. I know this, and they've told me about it. But, you know, I can tell you that what has come up in court is they're saying, well, your family is rotten, essentially. I mean, they didn't use the word rotten, but essentially they're saying that you can't trust your family to take care of you. Well, look, there have been problems with her son. I mean, that's why they had a financial guardianship in the first place.
Guardianship started.
Because he was going to her bank account.
That's not what we're talking about at this point.
Financial guardianship might be worth something.
Need care.
But you know, maybe she needs some assistance because she has some other ailments. But she has Alex Finney, who is her niece, who is just wonderful to her and wants to help her. Wendy doesn't need assisted living. Maybe she needs somebody to help her. She'll get a financial manager, just like other people. You know, most people are not expert in finance, but they find somebody who can help them. So you don't put somebody in a guardianship because of that.
If they end up in court, the two things you have are, you have this test that says she doesn't have it. The Guardians say they had a test done where she did have it. But even if you assume that she does have it, you can't lock her up now if she can take care of herself.
There are literally millions of Americans living with dementia right now.
She doesn't have it.
But I know, but
let's even assume,
very few of them are locked up against their will.
It was absurd already to have her in it when we know what her condition is, regardless if she had been diagnosed with the dementia.
Because she can take care of herself.
Because she can take care of herself. And when she can't, then you put her in.
That's right.
But now you have a test that says she doesn't even have it. So what are we talking about? Why is she still in there?
Well, there are theories about it. And I'm going to be honest. I got one. But I'm not going to say what it is because I'm not going to say what I can't prove. But what I can say is they're taking $20,000 a month for this residential memory unit facility. The guardian's getting paid, other people are getting paid, and it's all coming out of Wendy's account. And she doesn't even know how much money she has left.
Here's the most outrageous.
They're not even telling her.
The lawyers that are being used to keep her in the guardianship, she has to pay for them.
I know. It's just unbelievable. This is an outrage.
Hello, Mark, Los Angeles. Man, I don't know if it was an error or we're witnessing a miracle, but the woman says she feels like $1 zillion, so she should be able to do her thing, whatever that looks like now.
Of course she should.
Right.
And hopefully, the process is so slow. I don't know why it's taken this long. I'm not going to say anything. I just don't know why it's taken so long. But somebody needs to light a fire right now.
Well, Diddy has completely screwed up the first impressions part of checking into a new prison because he is in trouble yet again. This time it has to do with a three-way phone call.
Jesus, Charles.
What? It's a pregnant pause. It happens.
Don't say pregnant.
Yes, a three-way phone call that is a major no-no. You cannot have three-way phone calls. Obviously, prisoners have rights to have phone calls. But you can't patch in someone else.
So there have been stories out this morning that this three-way call had to do with Diddy being upset about something with the New York Times or wanted to somehow get in touch with the New York Times.
Wanted to give them a statement.
And that he had a publicist or somebody on one and somebody else. We have now confirmed, I've got some information here. Number one, there was a three-way call. It was a personal call involving two family members. It had nothing to do with an article. It was a personal call with two family members. And he, according to this one source who is directly connected to Diddy, just didn't know about the three-way call restriction. So that's what this was about. Less here than meets the eye.
So was that family member going to give a statement to the New York Times, or is the New York Times
It was
thing
not
a
about.
cover?
It was not about an article. It was a purely, quote, purely personal matter.
So the New York Times part, Derek, is in the documents, right?
Yes, but I think this also dovetails with something else in the documents, which is about the three-way call being about family visits, and it could be that phone call, right, where Diddy apparently said bring $200 worth of singles, and that could be an infraction as well because you're not allowed to bring paper currency. You can only bring coins for the vending machine. So now this is all starting to dovetail that this three-way call didn't have to do with a New York Times piece and wanting to put a comment in.
It was probably about bringing money, because I do know something else, by the way, that, this is interesting, that two of the baby mamas were visiting Diddy, and that when we published the story, which we're going to talk about in a minute, that he had been cited for drinking alcohol, that they were on their way to see him, and they let Diddy see them a day or two later. So this all kind of makes sense. This was a personal phone call and had nothing to do with an article.
This is all really falling into place. Now, this is an infraction as well, and there would be consequences for it. We've now seen on the BOP's website, the Bureau of Prisons has moved his expected release date from May 8th, 2028 to June 4th, 2028. And these calculations are based on what good behavior credits that you have, and those will move as you have infractions. He's only been there since October 30th, but he apparently has this alcohol issue potentially and this three-way call.
So let's talk about the alcohol issue for a minute, because when we published the story on Friday, we got this information from people who are connected to Diddy right now.
Right.
Okay, right now. And we confirmed with somebody on the outside who has a direct connection to Diddy that it involved substances. And I literally just got off the phone with that person 5-10 minutes ago. The person said, your story about homemade alcohol in the prison, quote, 100% true. So there's a lot going on here, but we're told now by multiple people, 100% true on the alcohol front, which kind of makes sense. Now they're saying he's committed to sobriety and everything else.
That would be the response you would
That's
give
right.
without
That's
admitting that he had the alcohol.
That's right.
But you would say that to be like.
That's right.
And we also know he's in the residential drug abuse treatment program in the prison. That's part of the report as well.
Which he was also in when he was in New York.
Correct. That was at
Brooklyn,
MDC
yeah.
Brooklyn, and it's now continued at Fort Dix.
So it looks like definitely an infraction for the three-way call, which we now confirmed and was a personal call, and we are told the alcohol story true.
Hi, my name is Erica, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I just feel like Diddy thinks because of his celebrity status that he's above the law. He has proven his time after time. I don't see how he didn't know that you couldn't do a three-way call in prison. I'm just not buying it.
Well, I got to say, it's a different culture when you're
and there are
in
different
prison.
rules. I have no idea if there's an orientation. I'm pretty sure you don't get a handbook laying out the rules. So to me, it seems believable that there are going to be some rules you don't know.
5 jokes I'll avoid.
Good job.
Coming up.
Well, Kim Kardashian is digging into her bar results, her bar exam. Of course, she announced that she did not pass the bar.
Now, we should say, she was reading the tea leaves, literally, to see whether she passed or not.
Somebody was reading them.
I really admire
now-
Kim. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
Be right back.
Well, Kim Kardashian is digging into her bar results, her bar exam. Of course, she announced that she did not pass the bar.
Now, we should say, she was reading the tea leaves, literally, to see whether she passed or not.
Somebody was reading them, and, well, Kim is not happy with what they were seeing. This is what she had to say. This is a conversation she's having with, it sounds like, a few friends about a visit to a psychic, or psychics.
4. At
Psychics.
least 4.
And she is very clearly not happy with those results either.
I'm just letting you guys know that all of the psychics that we have met with and that we're obsessed with are all full of. They all collectively, maybe 4 of them, have told me I was going to pass the bar. So they're all full pathological liars. Don't believe anything they say.
Okay.
I love that it took the bar exam for her to be off psychics. But before she was all in, like, psychics, if they say it, it's got to be real.
I really admire
now-
Kim. She is a brilliant business person and all. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. That's why she said a couple of weeks ago, I'm confident I'm going to pass. Because she went to a ridiculous psychic.
Psychics.
Well,
hold on a second.
She should have spent that time. So I said she should have spent that time studying instead of,
Let's put this another way. Hold on a second.
Well, she was
if
waiting
you go
for
to
the
one
results.
psychic and they tell you something, you're like, all right, whatever. You go to a second psychic and they tell you the same thing. Now you start to believe it a little more. If you go to 4 and they all say the same thing, then maybe maybe you would start to believe
Who
it.
the hell is going to say to Kim, no, honey, you flunked? Nobody's going to
well,
say that.
if they're really reading the...
Yeah, if they're really reading that. This is the dumbest.
Hold on. You yourself have told us that you did have a psychic experience that you believed.
Yes. About 30 years ago, I did speak to somebody who told me things that made no sense that anybody would know about my family. And yes, it really raised my eyebrows. But that was something that I then verified. To go to a psych, am I going to pass the bar exam?
What if they didn't mean this time around? What if they just meant sometime you were going to pass the bar?
That's also a good point.
Well, maybe then if you're going to be a good lawyer, ask the damn question
Kim should
right.
ask for specifics.
Am I ever going to pass the bar exam?
Yeah.
Am I going to pass it this time? How many times is it going to take? How about that? But this is so
I don't know if you're
dumb.
allowed follow-up questions with psychics.
Right. That's
so like, no. You only pay for one. That's it.
Okay, how about this then? Am I going to pass this time? It's so dumb.
My name's Melissa Gorecki. I'm from Long Island, New York. And I don't know about you guys, but if I'm taking a test, I know very well if I'm going to pass or not. No psychic needed. So I think maybe she was reaching out to get a little bit of like confirmation, like, yeah, I'm going to pass. But really, if she would have just stayed off the phone with the psychics and studied, she probably could have taken accountability and said, you know what, my bad, guys, I didn't study good enough. But she blamed it on the psychics?
In Kim's defense, it sounds like she went to the psychic after she took the test. So the studying wouldn't have been necessary at that point. But yeah, I get your point. By the way, Harvey has taken off to answer a phone call. He'll be back. Well, filming Wicked has really left an impression on Jeff Goldblum.
Good one, I think.
A good one. I think he feels like it was a very good impression because he has changed something in his personal life because of playing the role. I'm not giving away anything if I say
Now
plays
you can
the
do
wizard,
it.
right?
Most people saw the wizard.
Yeah, all right. So, you know that
there are
he plays the
animals
wizard.
that talk and animals that have feelings, and it affected his view of
his diet.
His diet.
And this is what he told
and humanity.
Okay, sure. This is what he told ITV about how he's changed his life.
He sacrifices possibly his integrity and what was once maybe a good set of principles and now does some very bad things like instigate and facilitate animal cruelty. It's changed me, you know. After doing this movie, we talked about the animal cruelty. I stopped eating meat and poultry.
Okay.
So this Christmas and Thanksgiving, I may be having another something else.
A nut roast of some sort.
Chestnut roast.
Yeah,
or
lovely.
something,
Yeah,
maybe.
but I'm happy. We need the world to work for everybody on Earth and every creature, too.
Can I say something here? My hat is off to him. That I wish I were as good as him. I tried being a vegetarian. I was having problems with it, and I pretty much cut out red meat and pork. But man, that he's doing this, I just admire it, and it's true.
It's a big change to make in your life. To stick with it,
is admirable.
Impressive.
It's admirable.
And
why
Ariana
he's doing
Grande
it, yeah.
and Cynthia Erivo have been vegans both since 2013, so he's been surrounded by them and filming this movie, and I've loved him on the press tour. I always love all his interviews and getting his insight.
Is the animal cruelty he's referring to, is that the flying monkeys? I'm not making a joke.
It's fine. There are flying monkeys, and then just in the story in general, it's kind of like animals can talk in this universe, and the wizard is responsible for shutting the animals up basically and saying there can't be any more animal teachers and things like that. So
I
that's a big
should
part
know
of his
this. I've
character.
seen Wicked the play.
We've already had
times.
this conversation, Charles, how you just blacked out during Act 2 and don't know what happens. But
put me in a dark theater.
We're gonna be able to solve that problem on November 21st.
Don't think so.
But it is just, I don't know, when you think about it, animals have feelings. And, look at pigs. I mean, they have emotions, they're smart, and they're not on Earth for bacon. They're just not. And boy, hats off to him. Hats off to Jeff Goldblum.
Hi guys, I'm Jamila. I'm in Reno, Nevada. Oh my God, this is actually making me emotional. Jeff Goldblum looks amazing, first of all. He seems like he has such an amazing heart. I've always thought that about him. But to be so positively influenced by a role, usually actors are negatively influenced by a role. So for him to have this much influence to change his diet and for him to actually say this role needs to work for all beings was really, really impactful for me. I've been a vegan for 6 years. This will be my 6th vegan Thanksgiving. It's really difficult to, your point, Harvey, but I think once you kind of think about it in that way morally, animals do have feelings. So, I'm getting emotional. But yeah, I love Goldblum, and this is a great lifestyle change for him.
I'm curious, what do you normally have for your vegan Thanksgiving?
Oh, I get down. I do mushroom, oyster, kind of fried mushroom oysters, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, everything just without dairy and meat.
I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I just want to say that when I see people who are vegan, the first thing I look at is, do they look healthy? And you look super healthy. And it's inspirational to see people who are doing this and they still appear, everybody thinks, oh, you're frail and all this and gaunt. So,
dude, I'm 41 years old. So thank you for saying that. And this has been a very difficult lifestyle change, but I just encourage people to think about it for sure. Thank you for saying that.
Better than me. Yeah.
Coming up.
I would never sell the company unless it was $1 billion.
You
Holy finger pointing. Oh my God. I just got full body chills.
When we had the meeting, you said, "Oh my God, I'm so against billionaires."
Yeah, I am.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexha was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
Hailey Bieber versus Billie Eilish.
Ooh,
how about that?
How
about that for a little feud
there? Because Hailey Bieber is opening up about why she had a very specific price in mind when she was selling her company Rhode Beauty, and that number is $1 billion.
She wants what Billie Eilish doesn't think should exist, which are billionaires.
This is what Hailey said about her search for $1 billion, and the fact that she actually ended up getting it. This is what she told GQ.
In May, you sold Rhode to the beauty company e.l.f. for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Where were you when you first heard that number, and what was your reaction?
For me, I always said that I would never sell the company unless it was $1 billion. I was very determined that I wouldn't do it for anything under that. But I think when
$900 million is good, but $1 billion is like, that's a flex.
I was just like, it's going to be this or I'm not doing it. That was my goal.
Well, she kind of had to do it because Justin was in a little bit of a hole.
Yeah, but
By the way, she didn't get a full $1 billion. She has a percentage.
The company was sold
the
for $1 billion.
Was sold for $1 billion.
She has her share of it, which is probably just a little bit south of that, I'm sure, because she wasn't 100% stakeholder.
But it is interesting because people her age, you see what happened in New York City, you see, billionaires are not embraced these days by Gen Z.
For most people her age.
It's actually
interesting that she was like, yeah, I want $1 billion. So
you
Holy finger pointing. Oh my God. I just got full body chills.
When we had the meeting, we had a meeting like 2 weeks ago. We had a meeting a week ago.
And I asked for $1 billion?
No. You said, oh my God, I'm so against billionaires.
Yeah, I am.
So Hailey Bieber.
Yeah, I think I can understand in this kind of context when it's something you've made and you've built, wanting it to be worth a lot, like sentimental value.
Hold on a second.
I don't think she should have gotten $1 billion.
Where Jeff Bezos started?
No.
Have you seen
I was born
Amazon
really recently.
Also
no.
They were in a small,
But she comes from money, I think, which also irks me to begin with. Like, she wasn't building this from the ground up.
Well, nor was Kylie Jenner.
And I agree with that too. I don't think that doesn't float my boat,
right? So that doesn't count as
it's not a self-made millionaire or billionaire or whatever she is now.
Talia has a point. It really does. It really is a point.
But you could say that Steve Jobs, self-made, right?
Yeah.
Totally self-made.
So that's totally different.
From a garage.
Yes. I think that's
Bezos.
Totally different. I also think, though, that her holding out for $1 billion for something like this is like the best example of greed. $900 million would have. $40 is a life-changing amount of money to me right now.
I am fascinated by this.
I think that's ridiculous.
If you can get $1 billion, why not get it? If someone's going to offer you $1 billion, why not get it?
But if somebody,
I know it's.
She wasn't just off.
Is a lot
she
also.
was determined. She said, "I'm not going to sell unless I get $1 billion."
Well, that's maximizing the value of your company, right?
I guess, but I also think if someone offered her like $500 million, she should think about it and not be like, "No, that's not enough."
As the CEO,
Talia represents the sea change in America right now because it doesn't matter what older people think. What matters is that the generation growing up has a very fundamentally different view of capitalism.
I think that the point of like life and being alive is to share it with other people. And I think having $1 billion and selling your lip gloss and skincare company for $1 billion
but if you're the
isn't for
CEO
the greater
of the company,
good.
your job is to make sure that your shareholders get the most for their stock, right? So then you're doing a good job.
Who are you, Adam Smith? You don't have to do this. Just good news for you. There's free lunch on Friday.
Thank God.
Hi, my name's Carly. I'm in Chicago, and I have to weigh in on this billionaire conversation. I think that, first of all, we don't know if she has $1 billion. It could just be her stakeholders. Second of all, we don't know if she's about to give it away or not. She just sold the company. And I agree, building something on your own and getting $1 billion is a lot different than the way other people get $1 billion by not through their creative ideas, but for mishandling finances or embezzlement or all the other crazy ways you can get $1 billion. So, Hailey Bieber, this is your call. Give it all away, girl.
She's not going to do that. not going to do that.
Give it all away.
Not going to do that.
Coming up.
Paris Jackson has a confession to make about her past drug use and how it is still impacting her today. It's very, I want to say, graphic.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Paris Jackson has a confession to make about her past drug use and how it is still impacting her today. And she decided to share this. I'm not sure exactly why, but it's very, I want to say, graphic. It's not gory or anything, but she's going to show you how her drug use has affected her, and then she's making some suggestions to other people who might go down this road as well.
I have a really loud whistle. If you go back 2 videos, you can hear it when I breathe through my nose. And that is because I have what is called a perforated septum, slightly different from a deviated septum. And that is, it's what you think it's from. Don't do drugs, kids. Or, I mean, do. I mean, you know, everyone's going to have the experience they need to have with life. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do, but I don't recommend it because it ruined my life. I don't want to get plastic surgery to fix it because I'm almost 6 years sober, and so you have to take pills when you do a surgery that gnarly, and I don't want to that. But I've been living with this since I was about 20, and it's a bitch when you're in the studio coughing vocals, and I can actually stick a spaghetti noodle and do that with it.
Yikes.
Wow.
That is
powerful.
That is one of those like scared straight things.
Really,
you see
really
in school.
powerful. Look, I have connections, indirect connections to her, the people I know.
Yeah.
And she's been through it. I mean, she was really been through it. I mean, Paris had a rough life. You know, not just her dad dying, but just she's had a tumultuous upbringing. And wow, for her to be this grounded and to kind of reflective is really something.
Also, the fact that she's acknowledging that if she did the surgery and she would have to go on pain pills, she's basically acknowledging that she doesn't know if she would be able to not abuse the pills, is how I interpret that.
But let me tell you something. There's a history to this because her
what her
dad
father-
became a drug addict because of exactly that. When he got badly burned during the Pepsi commercial, when he burned his scalp, they started giving him Demerol and other things, and his dad never kicked that for the rest of his life, and went down a bad rabbit hole with the help of numerous doctors who fueled his drug addiction and frankly are more responsible for his death than Conrad Murray, who was the last guy standing when Michael Jackson finally died. But I think that's a powerful lesson to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, this is Latoya Bryant, aka Kitty from Philly. And I have to say, I was very surprised to hear that Paris had a hole in her nose from past drug use. I mean, I guess losing a parent at such an early age could send anybody down a dark spiral. But her coming out and talking about it, and maybe it'll help somebody in the long run. And she even had a little comic relief by putting the spaghetti noodle through her nose.
You know, I just want to say something because everybody does think they know this story about, you know, Conrad Murray gave Michael Jackson propofol and that's what killed him and that's the end of the story. It is so not the story.
It is literally just the end of the story, but it is not the meat of the story.
We did a documentary called Who Really Killed Michael Jackson, and it is eye-opening and it will change the way you view this, and it's I think a really important story. You can find it on YouTube.
Well, Wicked had their London premiere, or it's Wicked for Good. Is that yes, Wicked for Good, Part 2. They had their London premiere, and all the stars are there. The big surprise was that Ariana Grande.
Here's the thing.
Wasn't hanging with her guy.
Ariana Grande is separated from Ethan Slater. Physically separated.
In a photo.
In a photo. So when you look at this photo.
Cast photo, they're all there, as you'd expect.
He's on the other side of her.
You would never know that they were romantically involved and had been in like a serious relationship by looking at this photo. So also, there's been a ton of rumors that they aren't together anymore.
We should
haven't
make
really
it clear,
seen
just in
them.
case people don't know, that Ethan Slater is in the movie. This wasn't like he was just showing up to support her. He's in the movie too. So there would be plenty of reason for him to be standing next to her.
And they used to show PDA, and now they're separated in this picture.
Yes, but we got to the bottom of it, you guys, because that's what we do best. And sources close to the couple told us that they are
Debatable.
still a couple. There's no truth at all to any of the split rumors. And they actually, another person who is a witness told us that at this actual premiere, when they were in the theater, they were holding hands.
So is the reason for their separation in the photo they're just sort of the cast?
Well, he's a minor player in this.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not a big player in the movie.
So it's sort of like, are all the people on the left there minor characters?
Yeah, actually, it does kind of look like that, right?
But I think it's, you know what? I actually, if you think about it, she's clearly center stage the star. And if he's not, you don't want to kind of take the shine away. And so you do step aside. I mean, people do that all the time.
And it might rub the other
actress,
main cast.
Right.
The wrong
Cynthia
way.
Erivo, it could.
And
So-
even when he's asked about her on the red carpet, he's like very much doesn't want to lean into anything about their relationship. He wants it to be about whatever project he's there promoting. So it does seem like maybe they just didn't want to make it about them.
That's
admirable and
mature.
rare.
And mature.
Hi, I'm Adriana from Chicago, and it is refreshing to see them standing separately at a professional event promoting the movie, the work they're supposed to be doing instead of being together. I'm not a fan of them together at all.
Why?
So,
Why?
Oh my gosh, he left his wife, his high school sweetheart.
But what if he?
child.
Hold on. I gotta ask you something. What if he found true love?
He should have been making money in London filming that movie, not having an affair. True love, nothing. They're
it
just
just
theater
happens.
kids.
Do you plan on having true love, or does it just kind of happen?
That is not true love.
Well, you don't know.
No.
I mean, what if they? If they stay together for more than 15 years, would you buy it?
No, I think they're just infatuated with each other, especially him infatuated with her. He posts about her way more than she ever posts about him. On his stories about the movie, he posts about her directly a lot, and that's kind of weird to me.
Okay, I'm done. I can't convince you. I'm done.
Coming up.
So a famous TikToker got caught red-handed cheating, and now it is going to cost her almost $2 million.
She's not the cheater.
Well, then why is she the one who has to pay?
There's this crazy law that is still in effect in 7 states.
Be right back.
So a famous TikToker got caught red-handed cheating, and now it is going to cost her almost $2 million. Brene Kennard is a TikToker who has a manager who was married. His name is Tim Montague.
I'm going to stop you for a second. She's not the cheater.
Yeah. Well, then why is she the one who has to pay?
Because there's this crazy law. It's an antiquated law that is still in effect in 7 states that says that if you in any way intrude on somebody else's marriage and the marriage dissolves as a result, the person who is left, the aggrieved spouse, can then sue this third party for all of the emotional upset that they have.
The reason I hear what you're saying, under the law, I would say she's a cheater because what she was found liable for is criminal conversation and the alienation of affection. So the criminal conversation basically is talking to a married man, like I said, who was her manager. And so Tim's now ex-wife or estranged wife, I don't know if they're fully divorced yet, filed this lawsuit against Brene. And Brene lost.
What's the phrase about scorned?
oh, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
That's the phrase.
Especially in a state where this is still allowed.
Right. Now, there are 7 jurisdictions. This was in North Carolina. There's 6 other states where this alienation of affection in criminal conversations. It's pretty wild because
ridiculous.
You know that to sue someone for doing harm to you, you have to have a duty. You have to establish a duty. And this woman did not cheat on anyone. She cheated. The husband
is the one who cheated.
This woman who sued is a cheater.
Look, here's the thing.
Again,
she was a mistress.
Here's the reason the law makes no sense. Here's the reason the law makes no sense. That what most states have now is no fault divorce, where you don't go to court and say it's his fault, it's her fault. Don't give spousal support or don't give him child support because of blah blah blah. They just say, look, if you guys have moved on, we don't care why. The marriage is over. So if no fault is the gold standard, why is the aggrieved spouse able to sue somebody for ruining a marriage when somebody could just walk away anyway?
Now, every harm should have a redress. There's no doubt that this woman was harmed.
Not every harm should have a redress.
Well, that's the idea, is that you're finding someone responsible for the harm to you. But the person who harmed her is her husband, not the third party.
And even with her husband,
that's the no fault divorce.
No fault, it doesn't even matter.
But there is harm. But she experienced that.
Sometimes people have harm, and you don't get a legal recourse as a result of every harm.
What's interesting is there are states that have fault divorce but don't have the alienation of affection.
Because alienation of affection is even dumber than fault.
Right.
It's even dumber.
Listen, then don't move to North Carolina, Hawaii, Illinois, Mississippi, New Mexico, South Dakota, or Utah.
I mean, it is...
Because you're going to run into some problems.
It is ridiculous. You can get divorced.
Bro, if you're looking to swerve, avoid those states.
Hey, this is Ash from Atlanta, and sis got sued for being the side chick turned into the main chick. Yeah, she got the man, but the bill came due, and baby, that's a 7-figure invoice. I don't care how much money I have. I'm not spending almost 2 M's to keep a man. Moral of the story, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Thank you.
By the way, $2 million. She's paying $1.75 million, at least that was the judgment. We were doing the research on this. There's an $8 million judgment. So
this is a stupid law.
30? I'm just told there's a $30 million judgment under this law.
It's a stupid law. How about this? Move on.
Coming up.
Starting to think that Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli's separation and divorce was something they've been working on for a while here, because their real estate, they have already unloaded at least one of their homes, and boy, is it a beaut.
Be right back.
I'm starting to think that Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli's separation and divorce was something they've been working on for a while here, because not only are they've already reached a divorce settlement. Did they reach a divorce settlement?
No, I don't think it's settled yet.
No.
In fact, what I hear is she signed a draconian prenup when they first got married that leaves her very little.
Well, I was going to say that can make it easy. Anyway, their real estate, they have already unloaded at least one of their homes, and boy, is it a beaut.
It is pretty. It's in Hidden Hills, home of the Kardashians. It is beautiful. So they're selling it for around
12.65 million is what they got. So this house is actually the house that they bought during COVID in 2010.
2020.
Or 2020 for 9.5 million. They're originally asking for 15. I heard that they had put a bunch of money into the house.
So they're probably not making much money.
I don't think they're making that much money. But it's a beautiful farmhouse.
Which is another sign they just want to
and this is where the family was living, obviously, during all that drama. So
look at the gym.
I don't know if they just
the school admissions.
Yeah,
drama.
I don't know if there's a rowing machine. Is there a rowing machine in the gym?
Would you stop it? Would you go back to the pool? That is a great pool. Oh man, I would love that pool.
But yeah, I mean, so Lori is living somewhere in LA, obviously not in this house.
They got another
and
house,
then Massimo's living everywhere. I mean,
Massimo's living.
Massimo's all over the town, so I don't know how much time he's spending at home.
So we had an idea in our morning meeting today that Massimo and Maurizio Umansky, Kyle's estranged husband, the two of them should start a show. Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
A new Bravo show.
A new Bravo show.
Very, very successful, suddenly single guys.
Suddenly single, the 50s guys.
I know another guy who might be a cast member.
Shut up, Devin.
It's Anthony from North Carolina, and the good thing about this separation is they essentially made money off of the house. I mean, they purchased it for $9 million, and they ended up selling it for $12 million. Now, in Lori's case, they have to come to some sort of agreement because I feel as if they should split that profit.
Well, it's going to depend on this prenup. I don't know if it's ever been amended.
Because that house would have been purchased long after, I think that was purchased long after they were together, so.
It just depends on the structure. Sometimes it could be community and sometimes it's not. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hi, this is Kimberly from Austin. This is Ginger Snap. So basically, Wendy Williams did not have dementia. She had too much personality for people to handle, like Ginger Snap. And the test came back clear, and now the Queen of Shades, proving what fans already knew. Wendy's still sharp, she's still standing, and she's still saying, "How you doing?" So for years, people are quick to write her off, and this shows you cannot count out a woman who built a career on telling the unfiltered truth. She's been through the storm, she's walked out in heels, and now she's got the headlines on her side this time, and I am, for one, on her side, and so is Ginger. But she's not a tragedy, she's a triumph, and I think it's time the world gives her her flowers while she can still sip tea and talk about it on camera.
You gonna say it?
Nope.
I really want to know what Ginger Snap's catchphrase is.
Oh, please.
Hi, my name is Zaria from New Jersey. I wanted to talk about Kim Kardashian and the whole sidekick thing. Honestly, if she wanted to pass the bar, she should have prepared better because manifestation and going to a psychic isn't dependent on passing the bar. If the psychics dropped the ball, that means she also dropped her responsibility if she failed.
Oh, but going to a psychic, going to 4 psychics and asking that question, what a waste of time. What is she doing? Come on, man. This is Hollywood gone awry.
Coming up.
You go, Kevin Smith. He is part of the OWTA movement, out with their asses. This is the movement we started.
Then Harvey needs to run himself.
Be right back.
You go, Kevin Smith. He is part of the OWTA movement, out with their asses. This is the movement we started.
Right, and we got him on board.
Well, we should say that this is...
We got him at LAX.
Voting against all members of Congress because they're all responsible for the shutdown. Primarying all of them.
Still going forward with OWTA, even if the shutdown ends at the later this week?
I'm sick of Congress. I'm just sick. They can't. I mean, the fact that they put people through what they put through, it's all of them.
So this is what Kevin Smith said to us at LAX, where he's been dealing with travel nightmares. But here's what he said about OUTA.
So Harvey has this thing where he's like, he's fed up, you know? He's calling it out with their asses, right? Saying basically like, yo.
Then Harvey needs to run himself.
Do you think he would be?
I mean, why not? Voice of the people, guys had a TV show for how long? Current president also had a TV show for many years.
This is true.
Harvey, you can't bitch unless you're ready to fix. Go fix.
Well, I'll tell you, I would, except...
Interesting.
Except we're launching a new experience on the TMZ tour buses. So I'm kind of committed to that.
I'd say
the
that...
After Dark tour, off the hook, everybody. Off the hook. DJ,
I know another
host.
president who pitches a lot of stuff.
Oh.
Interesting.
See you tomorrow.